Welcome to the 12th annual episode of the Turf and Tools podcast. I am Tim the Lawnmower Man. I'm here with my co-host Obsessive Lawny. We talk about all things lawn, tool, garden related.
Hello everyone. Just to let you know a secret, we've been actually talking for about 10 minutes before Tim realized we hadn't hit record. So this is round 2 for us now, the first 10 minutes anyway.
Does that make it the 13th annual
Yeah, I guess
edition?
so. It is. Yeah.
Lots going on at the moment for me. How about you?
Yeah, rye is the main, I guess, with my own lawn. Rye Overseed Update is probably the...
We'll go into our Rye Overseed updates in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
I do have a prop sitting in front. Well, what you probably thought was a prop.
No, I didn't think you stuck a mower there as a footrest, so I assumed you were going to talk about that as the tool. I know you've had that for a while.
If you're watching the YouTube version, the video version of this, I'm using the Greenworks battery 82 volt commercial battery mower as a footrest, but it's not just a footrest. We will go into it a little bit later, as Karthik alluded to. I have had it sitting here for a while. Hadn't had anything to do with it. And the main reason for that is when the Greenworks gear came out, I initially asked if I could try it, and they sent out the line trimmer, gave that a go, gave it a pretty good go, made some videos with it, and then I asked to try a mower. Mm-hmm. And I mean, God, it's a first world problem, but they sent so much gear at one stage. I was hoping they'd send one or two things, because I just don't have the capacity to. There's only so much you can try.
Yeah.
So
and I guess between you storing stuff at Store Hub and then obviously some stuff's at home.
Yeah.
When you need something, if you're on the wrong spot, then you can't go grab it straight away to keep using it. But that being here probably fixes that problem. You've got everything in the one roof.
Yeah. Well, I've moved a lot of the stuff here because there's plenty of grass to mow.
Yeah.
At the time this arrived, the 21-inch version arrived, which...
The old, new commercial 21-inch. Oh, no,
the current 21-inch.
Yeah, no, I think the next one's actually... The new one's not actually a 21-inch. I remember seeing...
Is it 22, is it?
Yeah, I remember seeing a comment from someone that represents Greenworks on the Facebook pages, because someone asked that question to go, so what happens? Are you discontinuing the old 21?
Yeah.
And he said, well, this one's not a 21, it's more a 22.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so they're not discontinuing the 21. That's just an addition to the commercial range.
Well, they're very, I can already tell they're very different mowers. But so the 25 arrived, the 21 arrived, the backpack blower arrived, their 6 battery charger, which is here somewhere.
Which is cool, yeah.
Which looks like an esky.
Yeah.
That arrived and something else arrived, and I was overwhelmed with stuff. And when I get sent a lot of stuff, it makes it hard to cover it all. So we will be talking about that a bit later, but we both have perennial ryegrass overseeding updates. Mm-hmm. We both have done overseeds with it. The reason for that is perennial ryegrass is a cool season grass.
We're entering our cooler months in Australia, in Sydney anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, correct. So our warm season grasses, essentially start to hibernate, lose colour, stop growth. So we like mowing all year round. Mm-hmm. So we've overseeded with a cooler season grass. It'll be beautiful and lush over the cooler months. That's the plan anyway. How's yours going?
Yeah, mine's going good. Thin in some areas where it probably needs another lot of seed again. So I have thrown some seed down in those areas. Now, it's hard with the amount of rain we've had. I don't know what the wash has been like. Hardly been able to go out.
Because you got a little slope back to your...
Yeah, but when it's so much water, even the slightest wash means you get a section that's got really thick coverage because the seed's washed into there, and another area that's not as thick, so to speak. The thing with rye is once it starts thickening up, that stuff will level out. It's okay, because we sort of short-term, we want immediate gratification, so to speak.
Yes.
So we want that even coverage right away. But mine's coverage overall is pretty good. Germination's been a lot better than last year. In terms of last year, I waited ages because I went late. I went just as late this year.
It's funny you say that, because I remember we had a conversation on one of the vlogs earlier this year, and you were going to go super early this year.
Well, I wanted to go almost 2 months earlier than I did, because I lose all sun in the backyard. So I thought I'll get it up, germinated, and then keep the water up to it for a month. And then when winter kicks in, I've already got a full covered rye lawn. Didn't go to plan because... Yeah, anyway, so it's germinated now. It's good. It's due for a cut, but it's been that wet that I haven't been able to step out. today is the day. I said to you earlier, I said it's like a itch you need to scratch, right?
What are you going to cut it with?
Well, it was a Ryobi project, so first cut's got to be Ryobi to show the...
Which one?
Well, I've got the 18 volt we talked about, the Whisper series,
yeah.
18 volt Whisper series self-propelled.
Send me a picture of that. I've got to see what it looks like. I don't know which one. Because they've got...
Well, if you want to keep talking, I'll find it straight away for you.
They've got a wide range of mowers across 18 and 36 volt. And then, multiples within those. And then you've got the Whisper series, you've got the non-Whisper series. Some of the chassis look different. Ryobi covered just about everything, but as a consumer just walking into, obviously, a Bunnings, because that's the only place they sell them here in Australia,
that's right, yeah.
I think it can be very confusing for them.
Yeah, and I think 100%, especially because you're not really, the people that are going shopping for a Ryobi mower aren't necessarily experts on the topic either, so they're relying on, I guess, a sales rep to tell them what suits their needs perfectly.
And do you think, what are the chances that salesperson, and this is no insult to them, because it's just not necessarily doable, but...
How well do they know the needs?
Have they used all of these, or it's like they've been told, they've read this
Look,
and
that's
that?
probably true for even the independent mower shop. They might know better than the sales rep, maybe. But look, I can go up to a Bunnings rep and ask him where a screw this big is, and somehow he magically seems to know the answer to which aisle and which bay. So anyone that can remember that kind of stuff, you know what, if I don't know anything on a topic, I'll take his word for the topic, on that topic anyway. But you're right, they have such a wide range that it's bound to be tricky on figuring out what's the right one for you.
And the only reason I say that is...
That's the one, sorry, by the way. That's the one.
Karthik's just showing me. Okay, so that's, I have seen that one. So it's a different looking chassis to the one you used last year, that 36 volt.
Correct.
It's an interesting looking...
And it was funny because...
That's not the one. 51 centimetres is 21 inch.
That's the one.
Oh, you got a 21?
Yeah, we went through this in the last broadcast.
Sorry,
so you wouldn't believe me when I said it was a 21.
That's what I'm saying. This is what I mean about the range. I'm like...
So it takes two 18-volt batteries.
Yeah.
And I think they had some issue with the stock or something. So when they sent it out originally with the scarifier and things like that, it only came with these two little 2-amp batteries that was actually for the topiary kit.
Yeah.
So I didn't have, and I don't run the 18-volt range, so I don't have any 18-volt batteries. So when I was doing the Rye update, I had to use the two little...
Why didn't you ask?
I had them there. It was all last minute, remember? So I kind of went, okay, I've got a day off here. I'm just going to do it now.
Yeah.
But surprisingly enough, it got the job done, even though it was the two little 2-amp ones. It still got the job done.
It's only a small yard.
Yeah, really. I know. It's tiny yard. So I was still...
26 kilo net weight. That'll obviously be without...
It's got all the usual, you can fold it up, really compact when you fold it up.
Dual battery. So does it run on one battery, or you need... Oh, it's 2 times 18.
It'll run on only one, yeah.
Oh, it run on one?
Yeah, it runs on one. You don't need both.
Yeah, this is what I mean about mowers. And as someone that has tried a lot of these things, it's very confusing. Yeah. So I can only imagine if you know nothing about it. And I know from my inboxes going, what mower should I get for blah, blah, blah. And even me with the stuff that I've tried, using it on a property like here where it's big and open, and you might be mulching or, and you're going on longer runs before turning, that experience to using it on a block like yours is completely different. So there's really no one answer for it. And that's what I was saying about it must be hard for those salespeople to accurately say that this is the mower that you should be getting, because even if it is a good mower, it might not
suit that person's needs,
because of the yard setup.
Yep.
Which sounds weird, but I mean, a mower is a mower, and maybe I'm just trying to make it too... No,
I get what you're saying. From a customer's point of view, it must be overwhelming if they're not into lawn care at all to walk in there and look at the entire range.
Yeah.
So they probably shop by price, to be honest, as well. As in, I think
that's
generally a lot of people, we do this, right? And when I don't know what I'm buying, I just automatically assume the cheapest one's probably the least in terms of quality.
Yeah.
And in my head, I assume the most expensive one is the best in quality, and I try to go 1 up, 2 up from the cheapest one, basically, when I buy.
Assumptions, and a lot of that probably comes down to marketing as well, doesn't
of course.
it? I'm sure some brands probably try and push you to the next one up.
I mean, look, I came from hospitality background, right? And we used to do this in bars when we'd set prices for, say, wines.
Yeah.
Yes, your cheapest that you paid would be the cheapest on the list. your most expensive one might be on the top of the list, but in the middle is where you would play with the prices, where something that might not be that expensive might actually still sit higher up on the menu to give that perception of it being
premium.
Like, the wines are not bad, obviously, because if they were bad, they wouldn't be on your list if you know what you're doing. But what I'm saying is your margins, especially in terms of how much you're going to make off the product sales, because you know the premium product won't necessarily sell a lot, but when you sell, you might make a higher margin on it.
Yeah, exactly.
So you play with the prices that way. So I don't know if it works on the Mower world the same way.
And again, that's what I was saying earlier, like their range, they have something for everyone. Even in those price points, like they have, you know, a 21 for lower price points now.
And if you want a 21, but you want to push, they've got one. If you want a 21, but you want to self-propel, they've got one.
And this is self-propelled.
This one's self-propelled.
Man, that is overkill for your backyard. A 21-inch self-propelled.
It's not a mower because it suits my backyard in my case, though, is it? It's because they need, like, they wanted to feature.
How do you find it in your backyard, though?
More than enough. Like, I
know, but is it annoying?
4 passes?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't too frustrating. You got to remember, I was mowing with like 20-inch cylinder mowers, and I'm already using equipment that's overkill for my backyard. So I don't think a 21-inch Ryobi was going to be the biggest inconvenience I was going to face when it came to that. Like, even under normal circumstances, I'm mowing with the Alro cylinder mower. Compared to that, mowing with the Ryobi is really not a hassle.
We'll have to bring it out here, do a runtime test out here, because there's plenty of grass now.
Sure. Yeah, but they've sent the 2 amp batteries now, so they sent
2 amp?
4 amp, 2 bigger batteries now for the mower itself. So I put that on charge just before I got here. So I'll go home today, give the rye a cut finally, and then start pumping it with some.
So it's $6.99.
Yeah, is that
mower? That's skin only. Obviously, you need batteries to charge of it.
But their kit prices are really sharp usually.
Yeah.
Like Ryobi, I've noticed, generally speaking, if you're looking at a tool, it's almost like even if you don't need the extra batteries, the kit prices just make it worth buying it as a kit instead of buying it as a tool only.
We'd have to look up the kit price, but I thought it's hard to recommend. A lot of people message me asking for what's the best cheap battery mower, and it's hard because of the battery cost. There's not a lot of cheap. Like even the Azito 36 volt, which I really need to get some videos out for. Like I paid $500 for that.
All I'll say is, look, people love to hate on those Zero stuff, love to hate on the Ryobi stuff, and I get where they're coming from with their opinion on that topic. But we've talked about this 100 times. I think if you use it the way it was intended to be used, and with those tools, the intention is you need to mow regularly, and regularly is not once a month. Then the tools work. I have not seen an issue with them.
I'm not questioning that. It's just the price point is my...
On the topic of Ryobi and Ozito, I just like putting that terms and condition in, because I just know the hate those 2 brands get, and I completely get why. But that's because most times people are using it for the wrong purpose, so to speak.
But when we're talking about more entry-level brands and you're talking about maybe an $800 kit or something for it, you get a lot of value
for the 800.
Well, no, I'm saying
in the petrol.
If you're buying a petrol mower, you get a lot of value there, something that'll get through...
pretty much anything, For $800 a mower, 100%.
But again, it's a different proposition. People that are buying battery, if you're looking to buy battery stuff, as I always say, you're not buying it because it's directly going to be exactly the same and do everything the same. You're buying it because you don't want to be servicing it. You want lower noise. You don't want the emissions for you. I'm not talking about the emissions for the environment. You don't want to be breathing the fumes.
If it's a fist fight, then the petrol mower wins every single time. No doubt about that.
Well, again, for pure cutting.
That's right.
Power.
Grunt.
I mean, we say that. I've seen the new Ego commercial. I don't know if it was an ad or a post somewhere. It was described as the most powerful lawnmower ever, or something along the lines of that. And I'm like, okay, I don't know what specific metric there.
We discussed that one, I think. We're waiting on that one to come out.
I just saw it this week, but I didn't go into it. But so,
that's my rye. So I'll give it a hit of fert as well. So I didn't put any starter fert or anything when I seeded. Because I don't know the way I stood there and I was like, I couldn't be bothered sort of reading up on it. But I kind of went, what's the point of throwing fert down when I'm throwing seed down? Because the seed's not going to absorb any of the fert. It's just there in the soil. And until the seed starts rooting in, the fert's just going to sit there. As it turned out anyway, with so much rain, I probably, there would have been so much leaching and washing away. So I didn't actually put any fert down when I seed it, but I'll start hitting it with liquids now.
Yeah, okay.
And maybe in another month, I'll give it a granular.
Yep.
And then, hopefully it starts thickening up soon. I can't wait to get the cylinder mower on it, to be honest. But
What sort of heights on it at the moment, do you reckon?
But it's funny. You know when rye first germinates, it's real stringy and real tall looking?
Yeah, what is
So
starting
if
to-
you measure the height, it will sound probably ridiculous because it's really
Yeah.
long. But then it's funny how when it starts, like it sort of, I don't know what the words are, but it blooms, like it opens up.
Yeah.
Then it's not really that tall actually, but
Yeah.
when it's standing up straight like a string, it looks a lot taller than...
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm making any sense there.
No, you are.
Yeah.
I'm at it. I've mowed mine. Sorry, go on.
Yeah. Oh, you've given yours a cut already?
Not here.
Oh, the one at your place,
At home.
Is that still hanging on?
I'll show you. Yeah.
With this much rain, if it doesn't hang on, yeah.
Well, it actually doesn't look too bad. I'll show you a picture there. Like it's nice and green and lush looking.
Why has you got like little darker? Is that your footprints?
So the darker spots would be where I've gone heavier with the rye.
Just random spots like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I had a lot of birds taking
Stealing
seeds.
your seeds, yeah.
But like overall, it doesn't look too bad. On top of that, the dog piss has been destroying it. Obviously, because it's very juvenile.
Well, that's the greenest it's looked though compared to your Kikuyu, so you're still winning.
But if you look actually directly over it, you'll see a lot of dog piss spots that are just bare, which is a bit annoying. But from a distance, it looks pretty good. It's better than it would have looked. You're selling the spot
anyway, so it's okay.
It's better than what it would have looked this time of year. So, and then obviously I've got the one on the property here. That I overseeded.
Yeah,
and
just took a look.
I'm not sure how many days in. It's probably only 10, 12 days.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty much how my backyard looks. So you can sort of know what I mean about lack of sun for my backyard.
Yeah.
In that you went probably a week later than me, but it's not too dissimilar to where my lawn's at as well.
I've been really happy with, like, that's kind of the result that I would want out there.
Yeah. Because yours looks ready for that first sort of really light cut as well.
Yeah, I'm going to wait another couple of days.
I'm not saying you should, but I'm kind of going, if I look at that, I'd be like, especially given I haven't mowed, in probably coming up to 3 weeks, I have not mowed a lawn, mine or others or anything, in almost 3 weeks. I don't know when the last time, last time was when we had the big floods.
Yeah,
it's probably how it went that long.
Growth has slowed down as well, and we've had a bit of rain.
Yeah.
Growth has slowed down. Life's been in the way. I haven't been mowing many normal lawns either. I've been. Did you see this week's Free Mow Friday or?
No, I watched your chicken coop video.
No.
I don't think I watched the Free Mow Friday one.
With the flail mower, Phil going through like.
Oh yeah. I saw the short format stuff.
Yeah,
yes.
well, it's all the same, but I'm doing that at the moment, and a lot around my place, but I haven't been doing a lot of just normal lawns. I'm kind of itching to do some. I've got plenty of tools to test. Had the Makita 40 volt. It's over there. I forgot to tell you actually. They dropped that off, the 40 volt line trimmer.
Okay.
To give a go.
40 volt. Nice.
Which I like the look and feel of just picking it
40
up.
volt line trimmer. Okay, cool.
So obviously I've been using
so many brands sometimes. The brain was trying to remember which brand that was. Because I'm looking at the Milwaukee blower.
It's behind me.
And my brain's saying Makita, but I'm looking at the red thing.
Yeah, we can't see any blue because the bag's over it. But it feels good in the hands. Haven't used it because, again, it's been raining since
3 weeks now. First dry day today.
It hasn't been 3 weeks.
It has been.
Has it? It feels like a week and a half.
Nah, it's longer than 2 weeks. I know.
It was just the day basically before Actually, it was the day I started doing that Free Mow Fridays. It started drizzling while I was doing that Free Mow Fridays, and which is amazing and just shows how amazing that flail mower is. I'm talking about my AS Motor 901 flail mower. If you haven't seen it, it's a walk-behind self-propelled flail mower, which it's got a horizontal rotating drum with flails on it. They're Y flails, so they're in the shape of a Y, and it just rotates around that drum and just mulches up pretty much anything into... Like, this stuff was like 7 foot tall. I'm not exaggerating.
Yeah, and is it that spaghetti style
No.
stuff?
It was like some sort of woody weed. I don't know what it was.
It wasn't even grass, really.
No, there was no grass there. It was... That place is a I was doing it and I made a comment in the video. I'm like, I'm doing this and I don't know what the actual goal is because this place kind of needs to be scraped and started again.
Yeah. It's not even one of those where you say, if they keep up the mowing from here on in, it's manageable because there's nothing to mow. It's just weeds. Yeah.
So I don't know. I can only do what I can do, but it's tidied it up immensely already just by knocking all that stuff down.
There's people living on premise?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I was recommended. Someone suggested that place to me probably 12 months ago.
Right.
I'd done 3 or 4 in the street behind it in a short period of time, and then someone recommended that one, and I just didn't think I had the equipment at the time to be able to
tackle it.
Yeah, and I'm sure I could have, but just the time.
It would have been a lot of whippy, like hand tools before you could even get a mower there, I reckon.
Well, if I was doing it without that, I'd go in with a
utility mower.
No, not this stuff. It's 7 foot tall woody weed,
okay,
so I'd go in with not a
like a blade one.
Yeah, a bladed. They make a mulching blade that you can get. It's kind of why can't I think of what they're called? A brush cutter blade.
Okay.
So you know what a brush cutter blade looks like, and there's all different shapes of them. I think Oregon make one where it's kind of what's that shape, like trapezoid or something? I don't know. And then it curls down at both,
like little
both
hooks.
ends,
Okay,
I think, and they're called a mulching blade, I think.
Right.
And apparently they're really good for that sort of stuff. Like I think you come down on it and it'll mulch it up. I think you might get a bit of kickback with it. You'd probably need a pretty powerful machine, but that's how I would probably do it. But that thing, man, like what I could do in an hour with that thing was just transformative.
And it's one of those things probably you've kind of going, why didn't I buy this? Like,
well, because I didn't know they existed.
No, I know, but I'm just kind of going, now that you've got one, you're kind of going, God, wish I had this on some of the jobs previously. Yeah.
I was suggested many times in my like YouTube video comments, like
get a flail mower.
People overseas going, oh, why don't you get a flail mower? And I'm thinking, because to me a flail mower is
the alto behind.
Yeah, behind a tractor, which is what generally you see them on. I didn't know that they made a 900 mil wide version of one, and that it would be as effective as it is.
Yeah.
I love that thing. I really do. It was a lot of money, but it's money well spent.
If you're going to use it often enough, 100%,
Yeah, so that's your rye update. Anything else on that?
Nothing on the rye, mate. You tell me, how's the veggie garden coming? How's the chicken coop coming?
Well, chicken coop, we prepped the chicken coop yesterday. I did a full video if you want to check out.
I did.
Oh,
Not the long
I meant the people listening.
Yep.
On the Turf and Tools YouTube channel, the process of us going to the chicken farm breeders.
Yep.
And
that's the one.
Getting some advice, and then just getting our chicken coop ready for chickens. So we did that yesterday, actually.
Okay.
So I did that, edited the video, got it out last night. It's fun.
Have you picked your chickens out, or?
No, we kind of have an idea of what we want. So we went in there, and I don't know the names of them. I was a little bit overwhelmed with the information and types of chickens and this and that.
Yep.
So we're probably going to get the Barry Basic ones that look kind of small and ugly. We wanted to get
Don't say ugly.
They're well, compared to the other ones, they're these bigger, beautiful ones.
Pretty ones, okay.
And we're like, oh yeah, they're nice. And then she said they get very broody.
Okay.
Which have you had chickens?
We've got chickens back home in the farm. Yeah, you know, they sometimes they're literally like puppy dogs. Sometimes like they'll start recognizing your voice. They'll start picking up your feeding time. You can call out and they'll all come running.
Yeah.
Back home, like my mom goes out in the afternoon to sort of they roam the property, just do their thing.
Yeah.
And then when it's about 3:00 in the afternoon or whatever, mom will step out and she just call them out like she's calling little kids.
Yeah.
And you can just hear them all over the property, but you can hear the rustling through the leaves, and they all come running to her.
Like how many would she have?
I think at its peak, it's a funny one, because at its peak, we might have had like 10, 12, 15, I don't know.
Yeah.
But we also had a couple of dogs they were off leash occasionally, and they just roam the property, but they'd get out sometimes, because we don't really have, like they can get out of the property if they want, and they'd go chicken hunting and end up killing somebody else's chicken.
Oh, okay.
So then the people would turn up at our place, knock on the door, and go, "Oh, your dog's just got one of our chickens again."
Yeah.
So we do a trade and they'd give them that farm off a chicken to make up for the chicken. Because for them, like for us, the chickens were there. Like for mom, it's not really a necessity. We just got them. Like how you're getting chickens.
Yeah.
You're not getting them because you need the eggs or
No, it's pretty much pets.
So it was similar to us as well. But for the people whose chickens the dog had just got, it was not so much. It was more a necessity. Or they actually relied on the eggs, so it helped them out. So yeah, we'd go, "Oh, sorry," and then give them a dog. And we knew there was no, like, they weren't lying, because our dogs, you could tell that they bring the evidence home with them, so you knew. So, but yeah, now they're fun. My kids love that whole farm life when they visit back home.
Yeah, I bet.
So I've got, like, my older one especially, she loves the chickens.
Well, it's just so different to modern suburban life. Like, again, even here, like, so actually, our last podcast was it our last? No, the one before, where we did the walk around of this place.
Last one?
And
we did store up after that.
Someone said, "This is going to be funny how this works out," like, and called me a Pitt Street farmer. And I was like, and I'm like, "Hey, hands up! I'm not like saying I know anything, or I'm not really, like, we're not farming or anything here.
Yeah.
It's just where there's a bit of property. We just want to try a few things.
When all you've done, like, it's not for everyone, but when you've just done the suburban life, having the freedom. If you're willing to slum it a little bit, which you are, you're not looking to sort of have a luxurious, like, house overnight or any of that stuff when you get here. So yeah, why not? Yeah, Pitt Street farmer, why not?
Yeah.
Metrosexual.
I don't know. I think that was a bit of a compliment to me, because we're all the way out here. We're a long way from Pitt Street.
Yeah, true.
A long way from Pitt Street. Maybe like I was going to say Windsor Road farmer, but there used to be farms on Windsor Road.
Not so long ago.
Yeah. What was I saying? The chickens, So the chickens are, I've sprayed it for mites and all that sort of stuff. Okay. Like all this stuff I never would have thought of. I would have thought you just clean it out and throw some stuff down. But cleaned off the roof, which had a lot of stuff on it, the gutters. It's got an auto feeder for the water, which is
I remember that.
Kind of cool. So yeah, probably, what day is it? Is it Monday? Maybe late this week we'll go and get some chickens. That's the plan. We just got to wait for the stuff we sprayed to dry.
When you go to the Easter show, they have those. We know what, like, a stereotypical
the
chicken
hatchling
looks.
things.
No, but the cool looking ones. They're like white with like funky.
Yeah, that's what we were. There was. No funkiness, but it was white and big and beautiful.
Yeah.
But as I said, they're broody, and they're not awesome egg layers.
Right, they're more.
Whereas the Barry Basic ones that are a little bit average looking, they might do 300 eggs a year, which we're not doing it. We don't eat that.
That's all right. You can drop the eggs off at my place.
I'm sure we can get rid of them, but it's like we're not getting them to. Well, we need eggs. It'll be cool to have your own eggs or whatever. Yep. Same with veggies. Like, we'll try and grow as much as we can, but it's not completely replacing Coles or Woolies.
Not long before you start complaining that every morning I got to go out there and collect all the eggs.
Well, that won't be my job. That won't be my job.
Okay.
No.
All right.
I've Nicole's going to be doing that. So the
coop's ready almost.
Coop's ready. What was I saying about 300? So I didn't realise as well that they don't just lay eggs forever. Even the basic ones, might lay for 2 to 3 years, and then they're done. Pretty much, So
nice.
And they also gave us the advice not to name them, because you just apparently
it makes it a bit harder to throw it in the barbecue after.
Well, we won't be eating them, but apparently, just with sometimes health issues or whatever, or who knows.
Here's an idea. Just pick a name.
Yeah, I've got 2 names.
And then just stick one after it. So
exactly.
Steve 1, and then Steve the 2nd, Steve
I'm
the 3rd, Steve the 4th. You just keep going.
So I think we're getting 4. Okay. 2 of one type, 2 of another, because you can't. Apparently they are racist.
The chickens?
Yeah.
To what race, but?
Well, whatever they aren't. So if there's 2 of.
Oh, to each other, right? Okay. Sorry.
I'm not saying they're not going to like you.
I don't know. I was like, well, maybe they don't like me.
They'll pick on the one that isn't them.
Right.
So you've got to get like 2 and 2 or
pairs.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
I think we're getting 4. I want to name 2. I want to call one Greg. Mm-hmm. Greg 1.
Greg 1.
And Cole Trickle.
Oh, Greg the 1st.
Yeah.
Cold Trickle.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
I like it. Greg and Cold Trickle, and then I'll leave the other two to be named. So excited about that. Veggie project, we'll probably, we plan
Next.
to, I got you to bring the Ryobi.
Oh, that was for the veggie project, right? I
Yeah.
was curious on
Do you
what
want to
your
talk
plans were.
about that tool for a sec while I grab it?
Yeah, sure. It's just the Ryobi cultivator attachment that just goes on to the Ryobi expanded range, runs on the 36 volt battery platform, I guess. I used that when I did my Primo Zoysia project to prep the soil for, what's the word I'm looking for? Sprigging. Look, it's not a heavy duty machine. You're not actually farming with it. It just breaks up the top surface. You go first pass, it'll just sort of crack up the soil.
Yeah.
But then if you go over it a second time and a third time, then it starts working a bit better. Again, you're not going to get real deep depth.
Well, I don't know that we need to. I don't even know that we really need it, to be honest with you.
Garden
but I'm like,
beds,
hey, it's
your
a tool.
garden beds, I remember the soil last time
Yeah.
we were here, and you can literally fluff it up with your hand. So
Yeah.
go for it, why not? But again, the tool for its use, it's not for heavy duty work, but when I did my sprigging project, it was more than enough for me, and it did a really good job for me. And it's one of those things for me, because I play around and have these little projects all the time, always wanted one. Because how else do you break up soil if you don't have a cultivator attachment? And a more serious heavy duty one's wasted on tiny little projects that I do.
Yeah.
So this is perfect. And like
Handy
once
little
I'm
thing.
done, I can just put it away in the shed. It's not in my way, but when I need it, I can just grab it anytime I want as well.
That's the handy thing about
100%.
combi tools, multi-tools, isn't it?
Because I've got the whippersnipper already. I run my PRS on that.
It's a lot heavier than I thought it would.
It needs to be a little bit heavy
No,
to
I
be
get
able to do
but
it. Yeah.
I'm just surprised that it is
as heavy as it is. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's got- what do you call
And
it?
just be mindful. I don't know if it matters, but it came with the power unit with that other handle that swings out that way.
like the kickback one.
No.
I don't know what you mean.
It just attaches to the side of where you're holding it, and then it swings around like that, like a big U shape.
On your left side? On the
Which
left side of the unit, or?
Yeah. So it's not like the kickback. It's sort of like, think about the kickback blade, but that's kickback blade itself is the handle.
Yeah.
But it's not just a straight one like that. It goes
Yeah.
up and over. And that specifically comes with the cultivator attachment for whatever reason.
Well, I imagine it'd still
There's a
be-
lot of vibration. That's why I'm sort of saying, because you've just got the normal VP
Yeah.
power unit. It still runs on it, but the vibrations is quite a lot.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Again, I don't really think we need it, but
I'll just try and pull up the picture.
I
of it
thought
anyway.
I'd give it a try.
Yeah, it's just sitting there at home anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, it is quite heavy. So, again, that's another thing that I know nothing about chickens and vegetable patches, but something we'll be learning and something that I'll be sharing my failures with Turf and Tools on YouTube and Instagram and all that sort of stuff. So, pretty excited. While you're looking that up, I'll give the Australian Lawn and Garden podcast a bit of a plug. He's having his 100th episode celebration soon. Luke
Yep.
Smith.
You're still going WA, right?
Yes, and that's why I'm bringing it up. He's invited me over. I'll be flying over to Perth for his 100th annual podcast on the 11th of June. It's at Shirley Strickland Reserve. I don't know if you know where that is, but it's in Perth. If you're from the area, bookings are essential for tickets. He booked out, he had an indoor or a small room booked initially, and then he sold that out, and then now
So
he's
he's
got
had to move into a bigger one.
Yeah, I mean, there's not going to be thousands of people there or anything, but they will have.
I don't know, mate. You're the big ticket item.
Well, I think that'd be the reason people wouldn't be coming. So I think he's overestimated my people attracting abilities. But there'll be brands there showing their equipment and podcast recording, live Q&A, all that sort of stuff.
Now turn up, guys. Tell him, all the comments you leave on his videos, tell him in person.
Yeah, exactly.
How shit he is.
No, if you are in the area, would love to meet you if you are into this sort of stuff. I sent him a message yesterday. As much as I was excited to go over there and am excited to go over there still, it's cost me a free trip to New York for the launch of a mower.
No, really?
Really?
Wow. Free trip to New York,
I know.
What mower is that?
Oh, I don't want to say now, but yeah, I was talking to someone about it, and
Jeez, Luke, he must really like you.
yeah, Well, I committed to going. So
Yeah, you can't back out. Can't back out
But
just because it's more.
how good would that be? Going,
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was going to be all expenses paid to go over
Nice.
there and cover that and show it. And I was like, yeah, sure. Like,
But the
absolutely.
timing's not worked out.
No. And I've always been keen to fly over to the States to cover some sort of equipment order because they get everything before us. They see everything before us.
Yeah, not even like a few months either. They get it like it'll run for a couple of years there before they
a year
release
or
it.
two
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah.
So I'm keen to go over at some stage to the GIE expo over there, which is their expo where they show the new equipment gets demoed and all that sort of stuff. But obviously it's a cost that I have to justify. So I've been like, oh, surely there's going to be something on and we can do a bit of a junket at some point. But there goes that opportunity. Thanks, Luke. So Tuesday the 11th of June, Australian Lawn and Garden podcast. There's more information on their Instagram. Come and see it. You've got that.
I found the handle for you that I was talking about, trying to figure out.
Oh, okay. So it's foam covered.
Yeah, foam covered, and like it just helps with the vibration heaps. Yeah.
Isn't it funny, like anti-vibration stuff, how simple
design can.
Especially, I mean, I don't know how this is described, but you'll see a piece of equipment and it'll have like anti-vibration technology or something. You'll see it's foam or.
But I think it's the shape and the foam combination on that one because I think it absorbs the vibrations a bit better.
Yeah. Okay.
It doesn't pass it on to you.
Yeah, okay.
It's like it feels weird to use because we normally use to our normal handles.
I know what that'll feel like. Yeah, from using other bits of equipment. But I also had the cat trip.
Oh, that's right. I saw your little excavator toys.
Westrack at Kashula. We were talking in last week's podcast. Actually, I think I titled it, Should I Buy a Mini Excavator?
Did you? Yeah.
So the day after that podcast, I drove out to Kashula and Brenton, one of the sales guys there, showed me around, took me into, essentially had like a sand pit.
Nice.
Where you can try out different. He's like, oh, try this, try that. I'm like, no, it's just, we'll try this to start with.
Yeah,
and then they put me in a compact loader, which is like a, you know what a loader is? Yeah,
the tracked
loader.
Yep.
Which they told me you can get a mulcher attachment for it. And do like forestry mulching sort of stuff.
Jesus.
Like you can like it's a $300,000 bit of equipment together. I want to try and see if I can get a loan of it or something.
So are you closer to knowing what suits you at this stage? Forget whether you're getting it or not and stuff like that. But in your wish list, because I know you wanted something.
Right, with the thing I tried out, I would love to have here.
Is that the digger?
Yeah, the excavator.
Yep.
I can't, like, in a normal situation, I can't justify buying it. Obviously, I'm doing a lot of different stuff here. I don't know exactly what I'm doing. That's the hard thing in terms of what I'm going to be doing here. Like, there'll be a lot of landscaping, and then when we build a house here, there's going to be a lot of landscaping and all that sort of stuff. So I can definitely see value in having it here. The hard thing for me is going, yes, I have XYZ project. I haven't used an excavator before. I'm like, is it going to be better to hire? I like the idea of having the equipment here because then it's like, if I'm inspired to do something on the spot, I can
start on it. Yeah.
And that's how I work. Like when I do any of my videos or anything.
Yeah, that freedom to be able to do it.
Yeah, it's not like I don't make a video. I don't go, okay, I'm going to make this video and okay, we're going to sit down and we're going to write out, this is the process of.
Yep.
It's like, okay, here's a bit of gear. This is what I'm feeling today. I'll go and do that, and I just do it. And that's just how I work. That's how I work more effectively. And then I try and edit it and get it out as soon as I can. I find that if I record stuff and then leave it for a bit because I've got other stuff coming out or whatever, I lose the motivation to go back to it, or just my head has moved on.
Yep.
I kind of need to be in
that space while you're putting the video out as well.
It's probably ADHD, but so that's kind of how I want to do it. And then, like I said, initially I was looking at the cheaper 10 to 20 grand entry level stuff. And then, I started looking at prices for them just to know what you can get. So, and then all of a sudden I'm at Westrack trying out one. So it's all exploded in
That's all right. Yeah. And so where are you at with the process now? Like,
I don't know yet.
Don't know yet? Okay.
Yeah, and there's no hurry because
you're not starting
right
overnight
this second.
Yep.
And I wasn't planning on anything right this second, but I don't know. It's exciting to know that the potential's there, and then just also dealing with a company like Westrack and all the equipment that they have,
the expertise. Yeah.
Yeah, like they've got a large branch at I think it's Tomago.
Okay. Is that New South Wales?
Yeah, where a lot of the heavy stuff is.
Yep.
Potential to go out there and check out that setup,
Cool.
which sounds fun.
Yeah.
And then, maybe the potential to borrow a piece of a compact loader with a forestry mulcher or something. Like, don't know. Who knows? It's just potential.
Yeah.
The idea of doing a Fremo Fridays that is that wild with a piece of equipment like that is just awesome. Or making some satisfying videos in ridiculously overgrown grass in, like the one I did with the Flail mower with the drone.
Yes.
That was cool. Yeah.
Isn't that the property we went? Yeah. They took the Raymo remote one
took
and
the
all
Raymo
that.
and
the tracked one.
Yeah. Can't think of the brand.
Raymo was the remote one. The other one was...
That was the place. Yeah, that'd be fun to go there with that, and it would absolutely just maul that stuff. But other gear that I want and have been... man, I have been living on Facebook Marketplace at the moment. It's all consuming.
Yeah, really? Yeah, that used to be me when I was... When the Scotty...
Yeah.
Rage had me in its
Scott
Warner's when I was like caught up in that one, and I like if I could afford, I might continue to do it, right? But eventually you kind of go, it's like an addiction almost, right? So I was that, like every moment I had every notification for every search turned on, every spelling mistake. So like, your brain's working where you're going because you don't want to miss out on a deal, right?
Yeah, like have these people listed it properly?
They might have listed it.
They just listed as old mower
or vintage mower, or the Scott Bonner might have been spelled with one T instead of two T's.
Or ER.
And you do every search and turn notifications on for everything. So what are you shopping? What, just farm equipment?
So my first, we say farm equipment. I don't want to overstate it. Like this is far from a farm. In the family, we're calling it a farm just because, it's like, oh, you're going there.
Yeah.
But I am very self-aware, knowing that it's just.
We just call it the Turf and Tools headquarters.
Exactly.
Turf and Tools HQ.
Exactly, but I've noticed the constant back and forth between the shed and the back of the property or any parts of the property with equipment.
I know where you're going.
I need a UTV of some
Did you see the one? I think I tagged you in it or sent you.
You sent me a couple of things this week. Which one was that?
This was early days, but it's all right. It was a brand of exactly like what I thought would be suitable for you. Let me see what brand it was. Did I send it to you?
What sort of?
It was a electric, like, run around farm buggy thing.
Oh, okay.
Let me find.
I can't think. But I've been. So there's my first thought was UTVs, which are pretty heavy duty, really, for this place.
Yeah.
So if I was going to get some sort of UTV, it would be an entry level thing.
Yeah.
And even then, it would still probably be overkill.
There we go. Crossfire.
Oh yeah, I've seen them.
Crossfire electric.
Yeah. So they're
They're cool, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're really
That's
good.
the sort of thing I'm talking about. So it's basically, what do you call it? A little buggy? Really, with a little ute back on it, and most of the time you can tilt the ute back.
Like a tipper,
tipper,
Good grippy wheels.
If you can, tow something behind it as well. A lot of them are four-wheel drive, which I don't need for here, which is why I'm saying I just need like an entry-level thing.
Yeah.
So then I've been looking at them. They're very expensive. Those ones I think you can get for the Crossfire. I could be wrong. So that's the electric one. They come in petrol as well.
Okay.
Might be that brand, might be another one, but 11, 12 grand new, you might be able to get those ones for.
Yeah, not surprising.
If you're talking about a Polaris, I think they've got a Polaris entry level for about 15 grand. Again, which is all big money. And I'm like, I just want something to run around here.
Maybe more like the Greenworks or the Ego buggies and stuff like that. Is that too little?
Well, I don't think Ego have one. Greenworks have one, but again, they're more expensive because they are battery. They're surprisingly.
Right. And do you have a preference on whether you want to go battery or petrol here?
I would love battery, but they're so expensive.
Yeah.
Because it's just not having to, quieter.
Yeah. That's Imagine like it's so peaceful right now. You can hear the breeze outside
Yeah.
and everything. If I had the option and the money available,
Yeah.
starting up a petrol thing
Yeah, exactly.
and just ruining this sort of quiet and peace versus just
Yeah.
buzzing around in an electric one would be so much more suitable.
If it was a price thing and I found something in petrol and it worked for my budget, absolutely I'd do
Yeah.
it. The other option is, which I didn't really think of as an option because I didn't think they'd be heavy duty enough, but there's actually a thing like a golf utility cart.
Okay.
So there's like specialised ones like that the golf cart brands make that are for golf courses and that sort of thing, and they can carry a load and tools, whatever.
Nice.
So it's basically just a golf cart with so
just modified to suit, so to speak.
Well, instead of carrying clubs on the back, it's
that
got
might do it.
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
look how flat. It's pretty flat here.
Yeah,
we're not
I was
going
going to say
off-road.
they do look like they'll tip over very easily, those golf carts, but that might just be me. They got tiny little wheels, don't they? Normally. No. Okay.
I think
Maybe me.
it'll
don't
be
hang out at
fine
golf
for
courses
this
much.
project. I did speak to a brand again, asking for pricing on it, and we might be getting a demo of one of their units.
Nice.
It was out of my price range, but they were like, "Hey, maybe you could make some videos."
Okay.
So I'm like, "Hey, I'd love to give it a try."
I mean, if you take like 2-3 years to make your video, it just hangs.
But yeah, it's just the back and forth. If I take just even doing the chicken coop yesterday,
100%.
we had half a dozen things or more.
Okay, that's not too far. I mean,
I know it's not too far,
yeah.
but if you're making 4 or 5 trips, bringing everything back at the end,
and carrying stuff, yes.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
yes.
yeah. I'm not being lazy, Carl.
I don't know. I can just
I
see
need
you. You're like,
this.
oh, the bins need to go out. All right, let me get the buggy out. 15 minutes to get the buggy ready. 2 minutes to put the bin out.
I need this, Karthik. Don't take this from me. You had a clip go viral.
Well, it was the last time I was at your property.
Semi-viral.
Yeah, well, I was with you. We were playing with the Mower.
Yeah.
The remote controlled mower that we've been talking about since the first annual podcast, it feels like.
Yeah.
But I realized I'd never, we filmed so much content, but I'd never actually filmed anything and posted anything.
Yeah.
So I quickly shot a 30-second thing of when you were controlling it and just using the auto empty feature where it was emptying it out. I didn't edit it. I didn't cut it. Literally, I just cut the ends and the beginning where we were talking.
Yeah.
And just posted it. Did the usual 2K views or whatever on TikTok for the first week maybe.
Yeah.
And then I've been busy, so I haven't been on TikTok much at all, whether looking or posting. I looked at it about 4 days ago and saw notifications was kind of going off, and I opened it up and I've gone, oh, this one's grown a bit. And from 5K, it had got up to 45K.
Yeah. Just a
in
quick
a week,
shoot up.
in a week, and I've gone, oh, okay, so this one's kind
It's a
of
grower.
Yeah, and then there's a few people sort of having little fights on whether that's a complete waste of money or whether it's the next best thing ever, you know what I mean, next best thing to
that's
bread.
when you know something generally will do
Will
well
do
if
well,
it's going to be polarizing,
But that was 2 days ago, and
Yeah.
again, I haven't looked at TikTok. And this morning I woke up and I opened it up because we've got the podcast coming up and stuff like that as well. And it's gone to
thought you'd do some work, eh?
250K plus views, and the fights have got a lot more serious, and where TikTok fights can start getting very aggressive. So it's got to that stage, which is generally a sign the video is doing well as well.
I did mention to you earlier that particularly for turf and tools, where I'm not emotionally connected to the equipment.
The
equipment. It's I'm not emotionally invested in. It's I like tools. I like trying them. I like showing them, but I'm not if you don't like this brand, you're So
you just let them go.
There's a lot of people that are like that. So even if I post a bit of gear, and it's very hard to in short video content to post stuff and have full context.
All the caveats attached.
Yeah, and that's what the YouTube videos are for, because they're longer. I can go into all of the details, but it's very hard to make a catchy 30 or 60-second video. I thought someone was here.
No. I just realized I was slouching.
Oh,
just a better
we're
sit up a
comfortable,
little
mate.
bit.
We're comfortable. Well, it's very hard to make a catchy short video and have all the information you want to say. So if you show a battery mower, there's then going to be all the general complaints about.
Yeah, look, we know all of this, and yet, I don't indulge anymore. I don't comment.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I just leave those ones.
It just blows me away how intelligent, well-educated people, I'm sure in their real lives, in personal lives, they have very logical discussions. And yeah, it's like when they get on the internet in these comments and I go, how do you make a snap judgment about an entire sort of product or a range based on a 30-second video and just like outright write something off? Like with the Mower, the one that got me was where someone went, that is just a complete waste of money.
Yeah.
And I kind of went, how can you be that close-minded that you can't think of a single group of people for whom that might be a suitable product?
Yeah, I think the
what
more appropriate comment in that situation is, for me personally, that would be a
and that
complete
might
waste of money.
very well be what they meant, but
yeah.
when they come back and defend that comment is what I mean.
Yeah.
Though. So if they come back with somebody, because someone else will call it out, even if I don't,
Yeah.
right? And someone did call it out, and then they come back and kind of go deeper and harder on the topic, and I go, you cannot possibly in real life be that close-minded on things. I think it's just internet brings that out of people.
Just to be clear, we're not flying the flag for Mower
or
whatever.
God, no.
I still don't know who the market for that is, but I just have an open mind about trying things, and it's been fun to play with. So
yeah, because the only comment I left there, this was before it started growing, was the person that said complete waste of money, and I sort of just I couldn't help myself, so I commented and said,
what a waste of money.
And I said, I think, give us your full review from your extensive experience using the product or something. And then the guy goes, send it to me and I'll test it. And I'm like, so if you haven't tested it, how do you know it's a waste of money?
Yeah.
But anyway, that's someone the internet for us.
For the rich and lazy who waste money.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah. Normally, rich people are the furthest from.
Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of love there as well.
Off there.
No, but there's a lot of people who have said very positive things.
Yeah.
So there's both sides to every story. But yeah, the internet comments always kill me.
Yeah.
When it's on other people's video, it's funny.
Yeah.
But if it's something that you've posted and you're kind of attached to, like you said, if you're not attached to it, in this case, the Mower video, like I'm not plugging it, I'm not selling it.
Yeah.
I just thought it's an interesting bit of the clip was interesting.
Yeah.
Like if I saw that, a Mower just on its own, the catches coming up, emptying out, I think that was cool. But I'm not attached to it.
I don't think my video did that well when we.
I think my one's done better than yours.
We both filmed at the same time.
No, you had lots of content out already, right, on it?
Oh, mine only did 30-odd thousand.
Ah, come on, man.
Loser.
Yeah.
But yeah, as I
said,
said,
look at me with my 250K.
those ones I generally just leave, even though it's something if I've made a video about it, I'm probably showing something. I'm like, oh, this aspect of it is cool. And that's not saying that, hey, this product is infallible.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just like, oh, look at this.
This feature is cool, or this,
So I know people are going to shoot it down for X, Y, Z or whatever. So I'm just like, I generally try and
stay out of comments.
Yeah.
But I've noticed you do this thing where you'll post a video and then kind of put a comment in straight away with any caveats or anything else you want to say on it.
Sometimes.
And then you stay off it.
Yeah.
But there used to be the feature where you could pin a comment. Like
They
got rid of it. And I think it's silly. That was a great feature.
Instagram, but I don't think it's on TikTok.
Yeah, I think they should bring that back. You need to be able to leave that comment and just pin it to the top.
I think they got rid of it because a lot of the pinned comments were things like, see link in bio or
I guess
trying to divert people to
somebody
their YouTube channel or whatever, which TikTok does not like.
Yeah, fair.
But
if I own TikTok, why would I want to be plugging other brands that are competition to me? So it's all right. Again, let's be open-minded about that.
You posted it on Instagram. How did it do that?
Nah,
3,000.
3,000. 3,000. Jesus. That's big numbers for me, man.
Hey, one more thing before I forgot we were going to talk about the Greenworks.
The commercial, main topic, We always get to the main topic.
You saw a new mower that's coming out. Has it been, do you actually know, have you done research on this or you just saw half of the Instagram
I've heard, so I forget his name. I think his name might be Luke as well. But the owner / of not Greenworks, I'm pointing at the Greenworks, but Mowmaster, because he was on Luke's podcast.
Correct, yeah.
And I remember listening to that podcast, and I remember him dropping hints saying they were working on a sort of secret project behind the scenes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I was sort of super curious on what it was, and I thought maybe they're bringing out a new domestic range, something. And then this video popped out. Based on what I know, I think it's their domestic range, the R22, possibly. I might be wrong on that.
No,
one.
I think I
all of them mowers
poked a pinky in the water, and I think it's on multiple.
Yeah, but it's a Honda electric.
So Mowmaster, who makes heavy duty,
like cricket pitch mowers, and commercial mowers,
really high quality industrial sort of.
And Australian, like 100% Australian brand too, yeah.
They're coming out with a battery version of some of their equipment, I believe.
Yep.
With a Honda battery engine on it.
Yep.
Motor on it, should I say?
Power unit on it, yeah.
Yeah. As much as you say it's a secret project or whatever, I remember
It was at the time of me listening to the podcast.
Well, I don't think so, because I remember when I bought my Mowmaster, which would be, man, time gets away. I feel like it's like maybe 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I remember seeing on their website, like, coming soon.
Okay.
So I feel like it's been in the works for a long time,
Right.
and then it actually being released is maybe the thing.
Yeah.
But I don't know, maybe I'm I've seen a lot of stuff in 5 years.
Them taking a long time to release it does not surprise me, because based on everything, I've never actually used a Mowmaster mower.
Very solid feeling.
Oh no, I lie. I might have used it once. Sorry, I lied that.
Where at? At that demo day?
I didn't use it at the demo day. No,
But you got your hands on it.
yeah. No, someone I know has one, so I might have. I'm
okay.
trying to remember if I actually mowed with it or not.
Anyway.
But the product has a reputation for being really thoroughly thought out and sort of
bulletproof,
engineered to perfection almost. So the fact that they wanted to release a battery one and they've had that in the works for a long time while they fine-tune every aspect of it does not shock me. So I would not be surprised at all if this product's sort of really good as well.
I feel kind of devastated for you because you're that excited about it, but it does not suit your lawn at all.
When does it suiting my yard ever stop me from mowers?
No, hey, mate, I am the exact same person. I bought a Mowmaster as my first cylinder mower.
Yeah.
Like, that's going balls deep.
Well, that's the way to do it, right? Buy it once, buy it right, and then sell it a month later. Is it? How long did you have it?
Before
Yeah.
they even had like distributors over here.
Yeah.
So now you can go. I've seen them at GYC. You can get them over here.
Yep.
At the time, I had to get it shipped over in a crate, pick it up from the shipping.
Yep.
What do you call it? Warehouse. The logistics center, whatever. On a ute, this massive crate, break it open, and and that was not suitable. Like, it was the machine I wanted because it's built how I want.
Yep.
Really industrial, but it's just too big and heavy. It was too big and heavy for my lawn, which was quite small and had issues with shade. So, if we had a bit of rain or it was a bit cooler or leading into the cooler months, you'd turn it and it would,
rip up.
Yeah, the turf. But again, that's no fault of the mower. That's just.
But that's the thing. Like, so
wrong
under
lawn.
any normal logical circumstances, yes, the mower would be completely unsuitable for my yard, as is the Alro I've probably got now, as is the 20-inch Scotty I used to mow with.
Keep talking.
Before, right? So logic has nothing to do with me usually using it on my yard, and
There'll be a slight cut in this podcast. My spidey senses were tingling. I don't know why. And I just got up to have a look at the camera and it had run out of storage because of all the stuff I've been filming. So I had to delete a couple of things, put it back on. I'll just fill the video version of it.
you'll edit it out to make it.
No, we'll be talking over it, but I'll just be, I don't know, mowing or something.
Right.
In that 6 or 7 minutes.
Also, you've got the audio, but the video is not recorded.
Yeah, they're captured separately.
Right. Okay. Cool,
But yeah, you were saying about the Mowmaster.
Yeah, I was saying about it being unsuitable for my yard, and most certainly it probably will be.
Yeah.
Even the smallest one they make is probably for any logical. We got crickets.
Yeah.
For any sort of logical person, it doesn't suit.
No.
But when you're in that very niche crowd like me, I'm not buying that mower because it suits my yard. I'm mowing that mower because I like the mower as well, if that makes sense. So, I use the MEY, I think is the other brand out of WA as well. And it's a big, heavy commercial unit. And I remember mowing that little putting green with that. And it's literally if the first time I used it, because I wasn't used to it, almost went through the neighbor's fence because how fast it takes off.
Yeah.
But the point is, I would still use it if I could have bought it at the time.
No. I think it takes away from the joy of the machine because you
might not have as much joy as if you were mowing it in a suitable yard.
Yeah.
But like I just said, I'm not using it because it's suitable. I'm also using it because I like the machine as well.
My thoughts are, and I've always thought this, I would love it if they made a same quality as what they make now, in a 14 inch.
Yeah. See, look, I like the 17 on, like, we're talking Scotty sizes here, 14, 17, 20.
I think 17's too big for
I think
our
17 is a good
blocks.
flexible size. So, like, I had zero issues when I had, and 17 is the one I've mowed the most often with for the longest time.
Yeah.
And I never thought, like, not once did I think this one's a little too big for me. But with the 14, I constantly thought, it's just not big enough for me.
Yeah, I know, because you want those big fat stripes. You desire that, but the block's not
Don't
suitable
desire it,
for
I get it. Oh, sorry.
I've had the most enjoyment on a small block with
The 14. Yeah.
Definitely. And I'd like to probably try
I'm going to
again.
probably use your 14 mass sport a lot on the backyard, I feel like.
Yeah.
Because I can get more stripes on the backyard with the 14.
We need to cover that. We need to do a video on
The mass sport 14?
Yeah, because I've had it for probably a year now.
Yeah.
I didn't get to use it much because issues with my lawn I had at the time. You've had it for a little bit now. We actually need to make a video of
I probably need to get it sharpened before I give it back to you as well. I've abused it a little bit. But the one feature on that mass sport 14 that is probably sort of a big feature for that mower is the one that I can't get my head around, the rollers having the rubber. The technique required to mow without ripping up your grass with it tears it up so bad. Like,
I think that comes down to the type of yard as well. Like, if you're mowing a section and it's surrounded by like a driveway
runoff
or
area,
it's heaven.
Yep. 100%.
If you're in a small area making turns, they can be a little bit.
So for me, that rubber really gets on my nerves because of that. It's not the product's fault. It's just, again, like I said, it's the way my yard is and the way I mow. I've got to almost change my technique completely to suit. And even then, I end up ripping up sections. And when you've got that pristine surface and you cause that little bit of damage because of an operator error, it really hits a nerve for me.
I'm not sure if they offer it with or without it.
I think it just comes with it.
Okay.
I think, if I'm not wrong, it just comes with.
Hey, we've got to get onto this 82
Greenworks.
volt.
Let's go. Let's go.
And again, only because I plan to use it today, so we might as well give it a little bit of background on it. Mm-hmm. So it's a 25-inch self-propelled mower from their commercial range. Runs on the 82 volt batteries, dual port. Batteries. So it can take. I usually run it with two of the.
But it runs independently on one as well.
Yes, I'm sure it does.
Yep.
Yeah, I have used it. Believe me or not. It's a little bit different in that it's got a dual blade setup that does a discharge in the middle, kind of like the Toro Turfmaster, Time Master, that sort of thing. I was going to try and show it on the video, but it's probably pretty relevant. So they're quite small blades. They say runtime. This, again, I'm just going through their specs now. 2 times 8 amp hour batteries up to 1.5 acres. So what's that? 6,000 square meters. I think you'd struggle to get that. I did use it out here, on the slope bit there, just down to the tree, which is probably the best bit of.
1,000 square.
No, maybe 700.
Okay.
And I got down to 66% on one of the batteries, so it was about 44%. But it wasn't taking a lot off. It was just mulching. Its height of cut, though, says 35 mil to 100 mil. That's just not... Here, that's fine on this sort of property, but 35 mil as a minimum is just... It's not low enough.
Yeah. It's good for maintenance.
Yes. It's a unique looking thing because it's very stubby.
It is, isn't it? Look, it's compact.
So because it's 25 inch, obviously it's quite wider than most of your mowers, 61 centimetres. But from front, like from the front wheels to where the catcher is really short.
Compact, yeah.
So it's something I'm not really used to. Felt good in big open spaces here. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't want to be using it in your yard or my yard, obviously. Just
too wide,
exactly. 37 kilos, 38 kilos without the batteries. The batteries are quite heavy, so I would run it with the 2 8 amp hours just for the extra weight because they can, battery mowers can tend to be a bit floaty.
Okay.
So any extra weight's going to be a bonus for you in that regard. But it's an interesting looking thing. Mm-hmm. yeah, I don't know who it's
It's
for.
one of the big. Well, it's built as a commercial, so it's obviously there's not.
If you're doing bigger areas,
Yeah.
it's might be suitable for you. Anything else you can comment on it? Just looking at it, Karthik?
Well, I'm trying to think how to word it, but
Thanks for
it's
that.
got a lot of little handle attachment bits, which I'm kind of going. Hopefully, I haven't used it, right? I'm like, hopefully, usually when you see multiple attachments, that's more things that can.
What are you
give
talking
way
about
over-
attachments?
Like, so just all of that area. I'm
Like
feeling
these
out-
spindles?
Yeah. Do
So
these?
you're talking about the handlebars where they join and there's two plastic spindles either side.
Yeah.
And then the I guess you'd call them the clamps.
So do they
They're
fold up?
plastic too?
Do they fold up real compact like the domestic battery stuff?
No. So it folds, well, it'll fold,
Or
the
what?
whole handlebars will fold up.
And
And
then you can
obviously
tip it up.
because the chassis is so stumpy,
Mm-hmm.
the handlebar is going to be a long way in the air.
Yep.
But yeah, interesting catcher too. Like it's,
Big catcher.
well, it's
Big enough, I
I
guess.
had a look at it's kind of stumpy as well.
Yeah. Well, it's similar to the one I've got, which is the 60-volt range catcher. Same design anyway, I think.
Yeah. So I was mulch mowing here.
I remember
catching.
when this range pre-release, when I saw it and stuff, I was super, super excited
Yeah.
for it. It does not fall in any price points that I can afford or
No, that's,
I need
look,
to.
That is a thing with it. The price point for
But then
the
I'm-
skin only is $13.49, and then for two 8 amp hour batteries, you keep talking. I'll look up how much the batteries are.
No. Like I said, yeah. So for me, as a toy to play with, yeah, great. But I have no need for a commercial hardcore machine
Yeah.
by any means. So that price point just means, yeah, I can come borrow yours if I need to use it.
Well, it's not mine. This is only on loan. I'll have to get it back at some stage.
Yeah.
Which is kind of why I want to cover it and send it off because it's a bit more suited to this block.
Yeah.
But there's two things that I haven't liked with both of the Greenworks mowers that I've used.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying this to try and be critical or anything.
Mm-hmm.
$739 each for the batteries. So you're looking, the guts are $1,500 plus $250 for a dual port charger. So you're looking at another $1,750 plus
Yeah,
how
so
much was it? $1,349. So
Yeah, it's a lot of money to put in if you're investing
you're
in
looking
it.
at $3,000.
Yeah. And it's a full platform, isn't it? So you get a bunch of other tools on that same platform, I presume, with those
Of
batteries?
course, all the batteries run on the Greenworks
Yep.
82 volt platform. They've got a good range and a good.
Yeah, I think it was like, I remember that picture they had on their website. I'm fairly sure of the whole range.
Yeah,
like a
overall,
group
and I
photo.
don't think we have them all
Available here.
Yeah, but
in Australia.
I'm excited for what's coming for Greenworks and Ego. I think potential. I don't think we're there yet. Ideally, like yes, it'll work, but as I said, the two things that
You're not a fan of.
not a fan of is the variable RPM.
Okay.
You know, the automatic.
Auto, yeah.
the auto.
You can't turn that off?
No, not that. No. So it's just it runs.
Okay.
And it tries to limp around, obviously, on the lowest RPM, which to save on battery. And that for me, that's not how I want to cut. I want it spinning the highest RPM possible.
Yeah.
And then it'll ramp up. Like it'll sense that something's thick, but quite often you'll be through that thick.
Because you're pushing it through there.
You'll be through that thick bit by the time it's ramped up to that bit, and then it'll hold those revs for quite a while after that before it goes back down. It's just I want control with it.
Yep.
Like having variable RPM is fine, but I want the ability to
Just turn it off and just run it at full capacity.
run it at low RPM or high RPM as well.
So you're telling me this doesn't have a mode where you can just run it on high, not a button to hold down or...
Unless I'm mistaken, no.
Okay.
No, I mean, you can see that's the controls. That's the safety.
Yeah.
There, that's the speed.
Right.
The other thing related to speed that I don't like is the ramping of the takeoff of the self-propelled.
Yeah.
You press it, it's slow, and then it ramps up initially.
Okay.
I want again full noise. I want to press the bail, pull the bail.
Yep.
And it go.
Can I also ask, with the self-propelled, there's a whole it's a feture with a lot of mowers, right? So when you got the self-propelled activated and you get to the end of a pass
Yep.
and you release it, are the back wheels on this one, do they lock up?
So because I was using it here,
Yeah.
where it's big and open, I didn't notice that because I didn't have that problem. I will be testing that
Yeah,
out.
but you don't know
what
for
you mean.
sure?
No, because when you're in big open areas, you're not pulling it back because you're in an awkward...
You're not running out of
was
space, yeah.
I was turning it and going.
Yeah,
So,
okay, fair enough. Because that feature,
that's annoying, yeah.
it is. Oh, but it's
Yeah.
that's not a Greenworks feature. That's a self-propelled feature on a lot of mowers.
Yeah, exactly.
Where the back wheel's locked because you had the self-propelled running.
You've got to adopt a way of using it where
Correct.
you stop the self-propelled before you get to the end of your run.
Yeah.
And then it goes for a little bit
yeah.
and it won't lock up. But then at that point, if you're only doing small areas, you've essentially got a self-propelled mower that's not a self-propelled mower. Because
Well, with my 60 volt, if I run to the end of the pass and it's locked, what I do is if you pick the handle up.
that's annoying.
No, I know. No. I'm not saying it's the best way or that it's the only way, but I'm just kind of going, it also releases the wheels.
Yeah.
So when I get to the end of the pass, I just tip it up a little bit and it releases
Yeah.
the wheels, so to speak, and then you can pull it back.
Well, I'm going to, I'll try it out today and I'll maybe put it through some other tests and make a full video for it. But we might wrap it up here because I want to show you a few things around here before you got to go.
Sure.
So thank you for joining us for the 12th annual Turf and Tools podcast.
Thanks again, guys, every week.
Apologies for the technical difficulties there. Hope you enjoyed potentially me mowing in the video version.
Yeah. How good's the setup
of this.
too, yeah?
Yeah, all right. Enjoy your week, guys.